Toastmaster. I know that I'm a stereotype. It's a challenge to find a blonde joke that I haven't heard or told. And my big blue eyes, abundance of freckles, and long blonde hair are signature California girl. The lack of a tan and glasses, not so much, but no one's perfect. My freshman year of college, I was chosen to be the center of a Minnesota magazine cover because I look like the prototypical Norwegian Lutheran college girl. But for the last 20 years, whenever possible, I check the other box and write in Euro-American. I check the other box and write in Euro-American because I am not white. It is not my race. It is not my ethnicity. It is not my skin color. And it irritates me to the core that at a time in our country when we are super focused crazy on all things politically correct, a majority of our population is lump dumped into something they are not, when others are lauded and heralded and rewarded for being African American, Asian American, Native American, Pacific Islander, Latino, or Hispanic. Take a closer look, and you will actually see that I'm actually a very tender shade of pale pink, with the slightest hint of a bluish undertone. I am not white, the color of typing paper. I have spent the last several months filling out hours upon hours of applications, forms, and questionnaires. Other was never an option. And decline to answer was very infrequently a choice. So I was stuck with white. With each little white box that I had to check, I became more and more frustrated, more and more annoyed, a little bit mercurial, and eventually offended. The ultimate irony arrived in the form of a written condition. To complete one of my grad school applications, I was required to submit a page-long statement identifying the distinctive qualities, characteristics, and life experiences I would contribute towards the enrollment and graduation of a university's aspired diverse student population. I went to college in this university state, and I still have family and friends there. I know it is the heartland of white snow, white bread, white sauce, and white casserole. I look like the sweet little American girl next door, and bringing diversity out of this is like trying to squeeze water out of a stone. Terrific. A page. Lie, tell a story, embellish an experience, or stand up and be what my grandma used to say to me every time I left the house to go someplace important or interesting. Remember, you are Esther Iverson's granddaughter. For weeks, I hemmed and hawed, lost sleep, and festered about my diversity, until I finally embraced my little white box, and this is what I put to paper. Although I don't necessarily look the part, I bring a range of diversity, life experience, and distinctive qualities to the University of Minnesota student body, the College of Education and Human Development, and the Doctorate Kinesiology program. I am the oldest of 3 girls born and raised in the hills of Oakland, California, during a time when the culturally and racially diverse city lost its ethnic majority. I survived the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake, the 1991 firestorm, and the transition from the handwritten, typewriter, and Xerox-dependent classroom to the email, computer, and internet-driven schoolroom of today. I grew up in a white Protestant family, descended from the roots of our nation, married to the relative newcomers to American soil. My dad is 100% Norwegian and is only the 2nd generation born in this country. While my maternal grandfather immigrated from a German family believed to be German toy makers who made toys for English and German royal families. My maternal grandmother is a direct descendant of Martha Custis Washington, and through marriage we are related to George Washington, Robert E. Lee, and we are close family friends with Benjamin Franklin. My dad, a small-town Wisconsin boy, and my mom, a small-town Iowan girl, met in Cartagena, Colombia, on the USS Hope, a medical ship. My parents, a heart surgeon and a CCU nurse, left their families in the Midwest to expand their careers and horizons. They instilled in me a love of travel and an interest in adventure and exploration, both at home and of places and things near and far. I spent a year studying and traveling in England and Europe and have lived all over the country and worked in California, Minnesota, Vermont, Iowa, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, and Montana. As a high school student, I was diagnosed with an audiovisual processing learning disorder. The diagnosis helped me understand why I struggle in certain classes, but it was also strange and hard for me to accept because as an elementary school student, I was put in the gifted and talented education program. Being a non-traditional learner, it's made me a better student, a better educator, and a better mentor. I grew up in a classroom environment that was geared for the 80%, the traditional learner. But as a member of the 20%, I understand both the conventional and non-conventional approaches to learning, to lesson creation, to lecturing and information presentation. And I believe this creates a unique education environment, a lecturing environment, and an information presentation environment that helps my students and makes me a better teacher. In 2005, I was diagnosed with celiac disease, a genetic-based autoimmune deficiency disease triggered by the consumption of wheat, oats, barley, and rye, gluten. My diagnosis has completely reframed my understanding and approach to a wide variety of issues, including the multitude of lifestyle choices influenced by cultural mores, religious teaching, medical conditions, and personal ethics. My celiac disease puts me in a unique place to discuss differences, and specifically the gluten-free diet. But it also allows me to experience sometimes harsh lessons in discrimination based on my inability to eat wheat, to take prescription medication or over-the-counter medication that contains wheat, and to participate in activities that may put risk to my health. It is frustrating for me to realize that there are people who still look at me and see me as a member of the great white box majority. It is my hope that one of these days, as I do not see myself that way, as I do not see the rest of you that way, that one day people will finally see each other for their abilities, skills, gifts, and talents that they have achieved and that they offer, rather than the things that they may be or may not be. Madam Toastmaster.